Well, hello there. I hope you're having a fun day. I actually visited with friends today. Like, wow, I have friends. That's spectacular. Bet you didn't know that. Yep, I have a couple of friends. I think they don't hate me. I don't know, could be wrong. uh, I'm going to put something on in the background, but I don't know what yet. How about... Hmm. Nah, nah. Problem is, I've played all these. The ones I want to play, I don't have installed right now. uh, I'll just put on Onei-chan Gomen. It's adorable. Not much to it, though. Oh, that's right. We have all these things to pay for. Not much to do but sit here. Last time I had to go early because my blood sugar was dropping. I do have raisins in the room, like if my blood sugar is dangerously low. But it wasn't. It was more like you need to eat now low, rather than you need to stop what you're doing or die low. Yeah, it's not what it was. But anyway, yeah, life of a diabetic. I'm what you would call, I guess, I don't know if we call them anything. I'm a skinny diabetic. I am rather underweight. My problem is I don't like to eat. Eating is a chore, and in my 20s in college, I rarely ate regular meals. And when I did, it was often stuff like potatoes and rice and bean burritos at Taco Bell. And so it was probably inevitable. I've got diabetes in my family, so I just should have taken better care of myself. And I didn't like to eat. It's a waste of time. I hate stopping what I'm doing. But that turned me diabetic, so gotta take care of myself now. Still alive, so that means I'm doing something right, I guess. So there you go. That is a very auspicious or inauspicious number of logs. I don't think there's anything we really need to build at the moment. I mean, I'd like to get these done, but we don't have the gold for it. should we see what happens if we hire another one? But really what we should do is try and get relics. So where do we have some relics we can get? I know that there's one down here, but there's no way we can get it. Right there, yeah, there's just no way we can get this one. That one's a good possibility. Many people we have, we may as well get some fishing in. Right? I think that's what we did for now. I'm just looking for what else we can do besides just more farms. What I'd like is more goat barns and barns. Man, tons of bricks, don't we? Let's put these on a pause. We don't need them. We'll ever use 32 bows. What the heck did I push? Okay, never mind. That's probably not bad. It's a little close to the road, but, you know, kind of belongs there. Let's check to see if we have anything to sell. As well. Not a 0 or a minus, but we definitely need more pottery and more candles. Oh man, we need more clay. wood and planks. That's good. What other things do we need? A dog kennel. Bricks, furniture. Furniture would be cool, wouldn't it? Yeah, but we need another heavy heavy tools. We don't have them. Did we build this? No, we did not. So 300 gold we don't have. Everything requires gold. I'm gonna try and see if I can put the furniture workshop right here. Oh, wow. How lucky are we? Be nice. Once we get these knocked out, I'll be able to work on those. There's going to be 2 rat catchers, so make sure you do your job, rat catchers. Wow, we can upgrade that. Not that dumb. Not much to do, is there? What can I talk about? I don't know. I like playing visual novels quite a bit. I don't know if anybody knows the history of visual novels. It's kind of fascinating. It started out with games in the early 80s when computers were fairly new to be like new household things. Like computers existed since the 1950s, but computers that were actually for the home didn't exist until the 1970s, and then the 1980s is when they took off and people started getting home computers. I remember when my buddy got an Apple, a Mac in like 1990. That was like a big deal for the family. But anyway, so yeah, home computers, big deal. And so the early home computers that they had in Japan, they used to create adult games. And most of these games, they just took photographs of like adult actresses and then converted them into computer images. And you would have games where you would let's say it as nicely as we can. You would tickle the girls. You would tickle them without their permission. You would just ninja assassinate tickle them. Yes. So they would tickle these girls, and that's all the game was. You would click on a girl and you would chase after her, and you would tickle her. And so they would make these games, and I don't know if they sold well or not. I don't know if this was a big deal or not. When HyperCard came out, if anybody knows what HyperCard is, I don't really know what HyperCard is. It's a bit before my time. But HyperCard was a way for people to. I think it was on Apple originally, but I don't know. There's probably more than one version of this. It allowed people to use links and cards, and you'd be able to put like your client names on cards, and then what company they worked for on another card, and a phone number for contacting the person, and phone numbers to contact the company, and then you'd be able to arrange these into sets so that under company X you would have a bunch of different names, and then under company Y you'd have a bunch of different names, and so each person at those companies, you could click on the individual and you could see the individual phone number of that contact, but if you clicked back you would get the company they worked for. That's kind of the idea of what they were going for with HyperCards. It was an organizational way to keep track of people, of clients, of products, or something like that. And of course, what they used it for in Japan was porn. They would take these girls, like I said, actual photographs of girls that they'd convert to computer graphics. And then you would click on a girl and you would spend time with them, and then you would tickle them. Let's do it. We always have too many of those, so let's go ahead. We don't want to buy those, we want to sell those. Do we have anything else? No, not really. We could sell shirts, but not really. So that was the nature of these games. You would just go after and interact with these girls, and they would sell a lot of these games on the PC-98. PC-98 is not a PC. PC stands for personal computer, but it's not like a Microsoft PC. It's not a PC clone like an IBM clone. It is a specific brand, and 98 wasn't the year, it was the series. So it was like 9810, 9811, 9812, 9814, 9815, so on and so on and so forth. And so the PC 98 was the 98 series, and they would slowly go up in number. And the PC 98 couldn't sell. Like, it was not as powerful as the big brands. Let's see what we can get. Bookbinding? No, we don't really need that. Grain crops. I'm gonna leave these alone and start planting the different ones. I don't know if this is sufficient. Yeah, I mean, down here is pretty good. Well, we'll go ahead and do... Oh, hold on. We will do this. And that way we can block it off down this way. And I don't really want anything this way. I want it this way. So let's block this off. Let's not do it this way. Let's change our minds. Which means these need to be moved. Can we do this more than one at a time? Okay. Because that land over to the northeast there is kind of trash. So the PC-98 wasn't as powerful as the Apple, wasn't as powerful as the IBM clones. There was really no way for them to market their product. Not on speed, not on efficiency, and everyone had either Microsoft or Apple. So the way PC-98 survived is they sold adult games. And that's how they were able to succeed. They sold adult games. And nobody else really did. And nobody else was making products for them. Microsoft didn't want those, or they didn't want the reputation of those on their machines, and neither did Apple. And so they were against the idea. They weren't like going to stop you. They were going to certainly make your life difficult. So the PC-98 was really the adult gaming machine. And like I said, these games were games where you chase after girls and tickle them without their permission. So there wasn't any variety to it, and it was just point and click, I guess. I've never played it. I don't own a PC-98. Never have. So what changed everything was Two Heart. Two Heart changed everything. Two Heart was a company that they didn't want to just make the same type of these adult games that people had made 1,000 times. They wanted to come up with something different, and what they came up with was a story of a high school and high school girls, and the protagonist actually interacted with them and talked with them, and they had relationships. Is that our work camp? No. And it really blew everybody's minds. Like, people were like, oh my gosh, like, there's actually a story, and they cared about the characters. And the one that they really cared about the most was a robot girl who was crafted by her creator to replace his daughter that was in a coma. And at the end of her route, the robot girl stops functioning. She was only functioning for a brief period of time, like her memories and her batteries run out or something. Never played Two Heart. Never watched the anime. But it was really sad because the robot girl breaks down. And in the end, the daughter of the inventor does wake up out of her coma. And so you are able to date the actual girl in the end. You're able to meet her and assume that you're going to date her in the future. But the robot girl's gone. She's died. And that's really sad. So, after the success of Two Heart, there was a company called... oh gosh, I can't even think of the name at this point. The head of the company said, I want a game like Two Heart. And he told his staff to make a game like Two Heart. And they wanted to make it more sad than he did. They liked the scenario where the robot girl passes away at the end and tugging at your heartstrings and making your audience cry. And so they tried to make a game with that effect on the players, and the owner of the company wouldn't let them. He was like, no, just make a nice happy story and, don't make me hurt you. So they were not able to make the game that they wanted. They had to put up with what their the owner of the company wanted. And they came out with 1 to the Radiant Season. And I have played 1 to the Radiant Season. And if you have an opportunity to play 1 to the Radiant Season, you should take it. It is, in all respects, a fantastic game. It is very difficult to play. There are so many choices in it. You have to have a guide. But it's really good. It is a really, really good game. It's about a boy that is disappearing from the world. And his aunt that he lives with is forgetting that he exists. And is not remembering to put food out for him. Like, she still buys groceries for 2 people, but she doesn't remember to cook anymore. Because he's disappearing from the world. And he's like, at least she remembers to buy extra groceries so he still has something to eat. But his classmates are starting to forget him, and he learns, or he doesn't realize, that if he makes a connection with a girl in the world, that he won't disappear fully. He'll be able to come back if he makes a connection with a girl. He'll be able to undo this disappearance that he's undergoing. And that's what happens. He's still going to disappear, but he can come back. And so each of the stories is bittersweet. Like, each of the girls that falls in love with him, and there's like 7 girls in this game, each of the girls that falls in love with him has to watch as he disappears from the world. But there's a happy ending in the end, which is what the guy required. And so after they made this game, every one of these people that worked on it quit. They all quit. They didn't want to work for this guy. They wanted to make the game they wanted to make. And so the game they came out with after that was Air. And if you have never watched the Air anime or seen the visual novel, it is utterly crushing. It is so heartbreaking. It is absolutely crushing. It's about a man that is trying to save a girl and fails. There's the story about a man trying to save a girl who fails. It is just so sad. Like, wow. Let's start building our, where's our market? The market's there. I want the entrance to this to look like it's facing that way. There we go. That'll do. I think that's good. Definitely can't build it, so we will put that on pause. But that's one, and then where is our other market? Up here? So we want one somewhere. I don't think we need more than 2. And we've got to put them in places where there's rat catchers, because these do attract rats. And again, we cannot build that. We've got these to build first. They've got to go down. Goodness gracious, we're gonna run out of food. I might need more coal. Yep. Smallpox. Didn't we say there was smallpox going around? Yep. Here it begins. Oof. Oof. This still sounds like this music from Oblivion. I'll tell you what. We can upgrade our markets. We don't have the money for it. There's just so little we can sell. Okay, well that's done. We just need the rock. So let's just get rock. That'll do. Man, that's gonna be trouble. We've got only one food. Like, I think these are gonna save us because they are not done yet. A lot of beans. Lots of beans, lots of beans, lots of beans, lots of beans, oh beans, lots of beans, lots of beans, lots of beans, yeah, yeah. Oof, we just ran out of clay so fast. Is that a cat or a dog? It's a dog, Sparky. We didn't lose our dogs that time, did we? I think Spuds and Spuds is still around, and Chuck maybe? Or Sparky. Was it Spuds and Sparky? Well, anyway, we've got them all. Got a couple dogs to name. See, the problem is I gotta think of these names. I don't get to look them up. What's the guy's name? Did we name 2 Aphrodisies, by the way? Athena, Zeus, Aphrodite, Celeste, Hades. Tara? I don't think we have a hat. I think that's good for now. When some of our dogs die, we'll have to replace them. So yeah, 2 heart led to air, and air broke everybody's hearts, and they loved it. It's about a guy that's trying to save a girl's life, and he fails. That's it. That's the story. And after that, they came out with Canon. Did they come out with Canon first? I think they came out with Canon first. Canon's also sad. It was Canon. Canon was first. Canon's about a guy that there are 4 girls that need help. There is a girl at school that chases after monsters that invade the school. She has a sword and she stands on guard and she fights these monsters. And the monsters are real. She's actually fighting monsters. And then there's a girl that is looking for something and she doesn't remember what it is. There's a girl who has no memories. There's 5. There's a girl who has a terminal disease and she's going to die soon. And then his cousin, nothing happens to her, but something happens to her aunt, her mother, his aunt, her mother. And so he only has one wish. He does have a wish, but he only has one, and he gets to choose one of the 5 girls to save. And that's it. He doesn't get to save them all. And in fact, one of the girls, you can't save. You can't save Makoto. There's nothing you can do. You can never restore Makoto's memories. She has lost them forever. So it's kind of like, what do you do with your one wish? Who do you choose to save? And there's an official ending. One of the girls' endings is the true ending. I'm just not really happy for any of the girls. They all kind of have a really harsh time. Anyway, so after the success of Canon and Two Heart, and then of course Air came out later. After the success of those visual novels just took off. We are done with the golden age of visual novels. Visual novels will never be as good as they were in like 2012, where they were making anime about visual novels. The best visual novels would get like 2 core anime, so you'd get like 26 episodes of the latest visual novel, and there were some great ones. A lot of money was being put into stuff like even visual novels like Honey Operation Sanctuary were getting anime. Even Tsunadoki no Natsu no Tsunadoke was getting an anime. They were just making so many anime, and that's when I discovered anime. That's when I discovered, and it came from visual novels, and so I began playing visual novels. I was this kid, you know, sneaking downstairs into the computer room and playing these visual novels, trying not to get caught. And one of the visual novels I had was Galaxy Angel. So if any of my family members came downstairs, what are you doing? Oh, it's a Galaxy Angel. Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh boy. I'm just glad I didn't get kicked out of the house. That's what I get for growing up in a religious household, I guess. I don't want to waste my money on that. I want to start upgrading some of my parts. Yay! Look at that! We can do the little ones. So, yeah, visual novels. And there were some great ones. Fate Stay Night, of course, is still around. They're still making new content for Fate Stay Night. It's been massively huge. That started out as an adult visual novel. There were some others. There were some really good ones. There were some really lame ones. But now people aren't playing visual novels like they used to, and the visual novel medium is no longer making the money it used to. Most people have moved on to most companies and most people, in fact, in Japan have moved on to gacha games, because adult gacha games, you don't have to buy a product. You can just watch adult content of your favorite girls and get stories of your favorite girls and collect your favorite girls. And there's a story and there's a bunch of stuff you can do. You know, there's like Flower Night Girl, and there's oh, what is that one? There's Miss Train Girls, there's Flower Night Girls, there's gosh, I don't play these games, so I can't think of their names. I have to think of where I've seen like people talk about them, and I don't know what they're playing because I don't play them myself. And so visual novels are just falling off. now you can buy visual novels for $5, for 500 yen. And before they used to be, 70,000 yen, and now they're 500. So it is almost impossible for companies to make money off of visual novels. There's still some big name people still making them. Alice Soft, for example, is still around. But most of the big companies, in fact, have gone out of business. There's only a few left. There's some doujin groups that still exist. But the golden age of visual novels is well passed over. And now that you can manufacture your own visual novels if you wanted to with AI generated art, it's only a matter of time before the whole entire system is completely dead. So it's sad, but I think I've said before I own like 500 visual novels, bought and paid for. About 500 visual novels. And there's some good ones that come out of it, like the Idolmaster was basically a racing simulation game. It's kind of a visual novel. And then it's still around, but it's no longer what it originally started as. It's now more of a music, rhythm, and dance game than it is a racing sim. Ooh, look at that! It's almost done. Well, it turns out all we needed to do was start harvesting rocks with our little peons. Sugzug, Dabu. So yeah, visual novels. I love visual novels. Their medium is almost dead. I have wall scrolls on my walls of so many visual novels. Man. Just looking around my room. All these visual novels. Because when you'd buy them, if you bought them from the right source, you'd get like little trinkets and things like that. So I would buy them from places that would give me wall scrolls. Aeons past. I have a mouse pad that's from a visual novel. I have more than one. It's just I can only use one at a time. Ah, I have a phone case from a visual novel. That's fun. I can plug this in, can't I? Screen's cracked. I don't think it works. I remember when I shattered it. I had to get all my pictures off. I had to pay some company $35 to get my pictures off. That was a fun day. Built those houses quick. It's because we have so much wood. Don't know what to do with it all. We need stone, not wood. Remember last game? I ran out of wood all the time. This one is just like wood coming out of my ears. Oh, ho, 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 ho. Ho, 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 ho. Do we need medicinal roots or do we need... We do not. Might need willow. We'll hold off on it. I'll just keep it on the berries for now. Oh, you are unneeded at the moment. Copy building setting. I don't know what that means. Defenses? No, we don't need defenses. We need roads and fencing. And it doesn't make sense to build these out of... Let's... Oh, we got our technology again! Golly, we get these fast. Cheese culture now. Silviculture. Yes. I think we want that. Forestry hat. Like I'm probably forgetting something, but you know, too late. Nope. And can we build this here? We can. Okie dokie. And come next summer, we'll transfer some over. Yeah. Visual novels. Unfortunately over. I mean, they're still making them. The golden age has passed. Sad day. Sad. There we go! There we go! Yeah, baby. You are making nothing but these. We need at least 2 of those because in case we run out, we need to be able to replace them. Heavy tools come first, regular tools come second. And we'll have to buy tools if we can. Is that done? Or is that done? Did we have goats? I didn't even check! Oh man, I didn't even check. These are done. They're high class. Gated, look at that. Where did we get the metal from for the gates? They didn't require any, they required brick. Where did the gates come from? Is it made of wood? Are those wood grates? Gates? I mean, it could be. You can paint them black and make them look metalish. I want to be able to upgrade that too. That'll be good. Silviculture, forestry, and then sustainable forestry. Cool. No need for that. So much is going to require metal. Oh! Finished exploring over there. Let's prioritize that. Put 10 people on it. Do we have anything that needs gold right now? I mean, I don't think it does, which means we can build this. Here it is. We can start building that. because these are done. Once those... Oh, we need more than those two because we need windmills. I'm going to start putting bakeries down. I see a couple spots we can put some bakeries. Yes, I know, but I don't have any money for tools. We will eventually get tools later. But for right now, we need this. Soon we will be able to manufacture our own willows. Hey, look at that, the wall's being built. It's surprising how fast you can get rock in when you tell your peasants to go collect it. When we have about 1,000 rock, I should upgrade the walls. We don't have the technology for it yet, but we will. Some of the visual novels I wish had gotten anime and never did. Tsun no Kanajo Dere no Kanajo was built like a 26 episode anime. So you'd have chapters, and each chapter was labeled, and there were 26 of them, like a 26 episode anime. And there was a beginning and ending theme song played at the end of each of the chapters. And so it was really trying to be an anime. And it was really cute. I liked it. It's the story of a spaceship that crashes out near a shrine in the mountain, near a shrine, and when they find it, there's a girl that claims that she's an alien, and she claims that she's Lum's cousin. She literally claims to be Lum, like the Lum from Urusei Yatsura, Lum Invader. She claims to be her cousin. And to prove it, she flies. She doesn't apparently shoot lightning like her cousin does, but she can fly. And so you go through the game, and she is desperately in love with the main character from the very beginning. Like, she wants to marry him right at the start. And like, there's some explanation for it, but there's really... It's basically nonsense. You know, she does want to marry him. She explains why. It's basically nonsense, but sure, why not? But she's one of the Dere girls, right? And then there's the next door neighbor. She's the younger sister of the main character's best friend, and she has a crush on him but won't admit it. So she's one of the Soon girls. And then there's another girl that is not the next door neighbor, she's the childhood friend. She comes over every day and wakes him up. She cooks him meals. She acts like his housewife. She's really adorable, sweet. So she's one of the Dere girls. There's a girl that he is engaged to marry because his father or his uncle or whatever set him up. and is like, marry this girl, and neither one of them really want to marry each other because they don't know each other, and she's one of the soon girls. There's a classmate who asks him out on a date. She's one of the dede girls, but it turns out that her sister is in love with him, so she's going out with him only for her sister's sake and swapping because they look alike. So she's kind of the soon girl, and then there's another girl in class. It gets complicated, but it's really cute. And in the end, if you do the alien invader girl, you find out during one of the events when you're talking with your she's not a teacher, she's a nurse. With the nurse tells you that you and the alien girl share some attributes. And she wants to know what your background is, but you don't really know. Your parents abandoned you, and you live with your uncle. And you don't really know your origin. You don't know who your parents are. You never really met them. And it's kind of a mystery, but in the end, there's a suspicion that you could also be like a half alien. Not a full alien, but you could be a half alien. So the girl that you're meeting is a full alien and you're a half alien. And when you go through, at the end, if you date her, in the end, she can't stay on Earth because she has to go back to space. They're not going to let her live on Earth. The only way around that is if she marries a human. So the main character marries her. And before he marries her, they're talking about her alien origin, and he's like, well, you're a full alien. And she's like, I'm not a full alien, I'm a half alien. My mother was from Earth. And he's like, oh, okay, it's kind of surprising. And she's like, yeah, my mother was a human. And I grew up in space because I had gotten sick, and I couldn't be raised on Earth, and because I'm from space now, I can't go back to space unless it's, a problem, because aliens are not allowed to live on an undeveloped world like Earth. Even if I'm half human, she can't live on Earth. And he's like, oh, well, if we're married, then that is okay, right? So he marries her. And after they get married, he takes her home and walks her, carries her across the mantle, really cute. She's in her wedding dress and everything, carries her across the mantle. They're now husband and wife. And she sees on his fireplace a picture. Finished excavating ancient ruins. A new wild rider has been acquired. Root of the first tree. Trees go faster. Great. And she sees this photograph, and she says, why do you have a picture of my mother? And he looks up at it, and he goes, oh, no reason. And she's like, well, how did you know my mother? And he's like, it doesn't matter. And he kisses her to distract her and takes her to bed. And at that point, you realize he just married his own sister. She's the Earth woman that went to space. And the reason why he didn't know his parents is because they can't come back. They can't come back and pick him up. Because his younger sister, after she was born, was sick, needed advanced medicine, so they left Earth, and they're stuck on this other world that they can't return to pick him up, because that would be illegal. So when she crash lands on Earth, she accidentally married her brother. It was so silly fun. I loved it. Yeah, that was a very silly, fun visual novel. Maybe that's why it was never brought to. But then there's stuff like The Hills Died Rose Matter. That's an anime about a visual novel. The Hills Died Rose Matter is a visual novel. And he marries his sister in that. straight up, just straight up marries his sister in that. I mean, if they can do it in Hills Dyed Rose Matter, they can do it in Tsu no Kanajo Dere no Kanajo. Livestock animal is killed. Predators are attacking. Is that a wolf? It's a fox. Okay, well, I hope we can survive the invasion. They're coming from the opposite direction this time. I really hope we can survive this one. We haven't built much defenses since last time. All we've got is this. Well, I mean, at least they have to go through there in order to get to us, right? They have no gold. Hope it's not a mistake to sell those. Let's get that. Let's get that finished. Well, at the very least, they have to grab it from here. It was another game similar to that. It's a lot more sad, though. What was it called? Something Clover. It's about a guy that at school there's a what's it called? Event. Oh wow, we're actually making that. We haven't made one yet. We're still working. There they are. Oh, they're gonna steal all the iron. Or livestock animals. Oh, let's turn that on. Let's put them. Okay. I was waiting till spring to split them, and then they got attacked by a fox. So I think we're gonna need. Well, let's build another. No. Yes. Menu services. Cat kennel. Dog kennel. Wow. Yeah, just stick it across the street. Maybe on that thing. What have we got to build? We just started building something. What did we start building? That. Let's do another dog kennel. How's the invasion? That's a lot of guys. I think the only thing we can really do is just wait till they come into town. We don't have towers, we don't have a lot of stuff. This game requires a lot of defenses, and it also makes it hard to build a lot of defenses because you gotta pay for them. And I don't think we have a bad town. I think we have a good town. Let's keep that there. Again, I didn't check if they had any goats. Do you have any grapes? Oh, stuff that came out while I was a student. Sitting in class, not paying attention to the teacher, watching stupid videos. It was nothing like what it is now. Nothing. Like what students go through nowadays is totally different from... Somebody said to do that your first year to get rid of the rocks. Yeah, they're gonna rob the iron. Which sucks because they're gonna break our heavy tool. Stole 5 iron. Like, what are you gonna do with 5 iron, buddy? Gonna make your own weapons? You're that pathetic. Villager has died.
Need anything?
Nope, nope, get out, get out, get out.
As you say.
Go. Don't blow that up. Like, seriously, do not blow that up. And that just got built. There's nothing in there. We go for these, even though there's nothing in them. I just need him away from that because he's gonna blow it up, and I don't want to lose all of the stuff that's in there. But he's not gonna get out of it what he wants, and so we have to pull him away from it because what he wants is there's nothing in there for him to steal. Well, at least that reset him, right? Oh gosh, he's gonna go right back to it. Alright, well, let's grab some people.
On it.
And you're not gonna get anything from there either. You damned assholes. There's nothing in those buildings. Please don't tell me we got any kids. We didn't. Let's grab some.
As you say.
Like, why are you blowing that up? There's nothing in there for you to steal. It just got finished. So to what purpose do you have to blow it up? You die. You absolutely die.
Okay then.
5 iron. We barely saved that. All that gold because there was nothing in there when it finished. Chumps. Let's start upgrading these. May as well, there's no reason not to. We have the materials for it. Where's the other one? There was another one down here or something. There's the other one. So much brick. Like, usually I don't have this much brick, but then again, usually when you upgrade this, you get all of the ability to build all that stuff. You didn't have to research before. So yeah, Clover Point. Clover Point was another game where this guy, he's attending class and a new girl shows up in class and she's really pretty. And all of the guys just fall head over heels for her. And she's the most popular girl in school, suddenly, which puts all of the other girls in a very poor position because suddenly, you know, how are they going to deal with the fact that they're being outclassed by this one girl? Let's buy tools. Let's buy 10. Could probably buy 11. Nope. 15? Yes. And so a lot of the girls get jealous, a lot of the girls get upset. This strange girl moves into town and becomes the most desirable girl in class. And they're putting on a play, and there's like 5 girls that you can spend time with, and there's a main girl, and it's the girl that moved in. So if you ever get Clover Point, if you ever look at the cover art for Clover Point, the main girl is the girl that moves into the school, and disrupts the relationships that were already going on. And the main character, she's kind of attached to the main character. And if you get to the point where you're about to put on the play, there is a single choice in the game, just one. And it says, you can help one of these girls. And it just puts up the 5 girls that there are. And you say, this is the girl I'm going to go help. And that's the girl you go on her route. So obviously I chose the main girl. And when you choose the main girl, she ends up, during Christmas, she moves into his dorm for the 2 weeks of Christmas while all of the other kids are gone. They all go home. But he doesn't have, like, his dad at home is like, oh, you don't need to come home. You can just stay there. And she says that she doesn't have anywhere to go. Her parents don't really care if she stays or goes. And she doesn't have a very good relationship with them, she says. And so she asks to stay with him. And she basically becomes his living girlfriend. And for 2 weeks during this vacation, while their friends are gone, they just have sex every day, all day. That's all they do. They just have sex for 2 weeks. And at the end of that 2 weeks, when the vacation is over, she comes up to him and says, I have a confession to make. And he's like, what? She goes, I'm your sister. And he's like, excuse me? And she says, yeah. You see, when our parents got divorced, my mother was pregnant. And she didn't want to lose her baby to your father. She was worried that he would take me away. And so she said nothing. And so when my birth certificate was written, she wrote down that there was no father. So my birth certificate doesn't list your father as my father, and so we are not considered to be siblings under the law. But we're actually true siblings. And he's like, what are you doing? And she says, I've always dreamed about meeting you my whole life. I've known about you. I knew you didn't know about me, but I've always known about you, and my mom would tell me stories. And she says, I always wanted to meet you, so I talked to my mother and arranged to go to this school. But I'm only allowed to be here for a semester, and I'm only here to meet you, and then I'm supposed to go home. So at the end of this next semester, I'm supposed to go home, and we can't be together anymore. And he's like, we shouldn't have been together in the first place. And she says, I didn't mean for this to happen, but I showed up and I fell in love with you as soon as I met you, because I've just been thinking about you my whole life, and now I finally get to meet you, and you're everything I ever wanted. And he's like, you can't do this to me. Do you know what you've done? And she's like, I'm sorry, but I'm so much in love. Please don't throw me away. And he throws her away. And so then they have to spend this time trying to mend this broken relationship, where it's too late for both of them. They're both in love. He's desperately in love with her by then. And it's sad because, you know, it's all based on this not telling the truth and lies between his father and his mother and between her and between him and yeah. Oh, my visual novel crashed in the background. I don't know. Guess sooner or later stuff's gotta crash sometimes. Some are more stable than others. That one's by Innerheart. Innerheart games tend to crash when you're playing something else in the foreground. What? Did I have to? I did. Two wells conflicting with one another. We have to move that. Can't have that. They drain each other. Am I able to move that here? Yes. Let us, because the first year is just getting rid of rocks, right? We're trying to get rid of the rocks. Reduce weed levels and remove rocks. Okay, so we want to reduce weed levels. And we want to grow barley and wheat. Rye and wheat. Is it barley? We want barley, right? Where's barley? Did they take barley out of the game? They took barley out of the game. Wow. The game used to have barley. Oh, there it is. Buckwheat. We want to do 2 buckwheats in a row. So we're going to do... I know I used to do this. I used to do 2 buckwheats. Well, guess what? We're going to do 2 buckwheats. And the reason why we're doing that is we don't want to overtax the wheat because it just really is a huge hit to your fertility. Buckwheat is a lot less. And so we don't want to murder our fertility just right at the beginning. Let's increase the number of farmers. And then for this year, after this cycle is done, we'll go grow clover. So it'll be clover, wheat, buckwheat, clover, wheat, buckwheat. And that way it also won't spread diseases from one year of wheat to another. That also means we need to start grinding grain into flour. Yes, I know they need more tools. We are building more, well, we're not yet. We're producing heavy tools right now. So yeah, Clover Point is a sad version of that type of story of the unknown sibling. Well, she knew exactly what she was doing in Clover Point. But he didn't. He was blind to the whole thing. It's a kind of bittersweet story. Like, they end up together anyway, like at the end. They just decide to move on. It's kind of like, what's it called? Which is really, really famous. It was a big, big deal. Hold on, I'm going to check it really quick. You're going to lose sound for a moment. I remember this one, and I don't. There's a way to look it up, but there's so many now. Yeah. Flyable Heart. Flyable Heart is interesting. It's very sweet. It's Nozomi Ito, who's the artist. She did the Melancholy of Suzumiya Haruhi. So all of the character designs in Melancholy of Suzumiya Haruhi are Noisy Ito. This is an interesting story. totally the same and totally different. In this one, as he's walking down the street, a fortune teller looks up at him and says, "Excuse me, young man, can I give you your fortune?" And he's like, "I'm sorry, I don't have any money right now. I'm on my way to school." And she's like, "No, no, 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 no. I'll give you your fortune for free. First time, free, right? If you decide it's good enough, you can come back later." He's like, "All right, whatever, sure." And he's starting his first day of school, and his dad gave him the option of going to this school and really got him excited for it because food is free. So the cafeteria is free. You can eat as much as you want. And he's like, "Isn't that great? You can have as much as you like. You can eat your favorite foods. It's awesome. What do you think?" And so he gets really excited to go to this school based solely on the idea that he wants to eat at the cafeteria. And, you know, his dad's doing it on purpose, obviously. He's trying to get his son to go to this school. And it works, obviously. Not much fish, not much meat. There's some. So much brick. So much brick! We still don't have goats and we still don't have barns. Like, this is stupid. Let's build a barn here, facing that direction. We can upgrade our park. Barn. Is it too close to... No, it's probably not too close. Oh, we can't build that yet. We don't have 150. We will. Look at that. But right now, it's on. Let's start upgrading these in the center of town. How much iron do we have? I wish iron was up here, but I understand why everything can't be up here, but, you know, iron is one that I think would have been nice to have up there. He meets this fortune teller on the side of the road, and while he's walking past, the fortune teller gives him his fortune for free, and she looks at him and tells him, you can't go in that direction. Your fortune is that you can't go in that direction. And he's like, "But that's my direction to my new school. I have to go in that direction. I'm transferring schools today." And she goes, "Well, you can't. And bad things will happen if you do." And he's like, "Forget you. I have to go." And this is exactly what happens in Urusei Yatsura, if you've ever seen Urusei Yatsura, where Taro Moroboshi meets a priest on the side of the road that tells him you can't go in that direction because it's bad luck. And he tells him that this is the way home, so I have to take it. So he walks off, and then he gets picked up by the cops and thrown in the back of a van, and he becomes Earth's hero in catching Lum. And almost fails, but, you know, bad luck is he ends up having to marry Lum. Anyway, Urusei Yatsura, it's a very silly, fun show. Let's put weird and weird together and make it even weirder. That's the opening theme song of Urusei Yatsura. So, in a similar way, he's told you can't go down that road because something bad will happen. And he's like, "I have to. That's the way to school. So, see ya." So he leaves, goes on his way to school, and as he's walking, he crosses a bridge and he gets really sick. Gets really dizzy. It feels like the whole world is warping, and he lands on the ground and almost passes out. And there's a girl that wakes him up, and she goes, "I'm sorry, mister, are you okay?" And he looks up, and the first thing he sees is her panties, because she's she's crouching down to check on him. And the first thing he says is, "Panties." And she looks down and goes, "Oh, you pervert." So that's how they meet, is him seeing her panties. And he goes to the school, and there's a welcoming sign for her because it's her first day of school. And he's like, "But it's my first day of school too." And they're like, "We don't know who you are." And he's like, "But I just transferred." And they're like, "We don't have any records of you." And he shows them the transfer papers that he had on hand. And they look through it, and they're like, "Well, everything is accurate. You even have the signatures correct. Everything here is correct." And the only thing they can think of is that the chairman of the school made a mistake. That the chairman filled out the form, and we've got a lot of people moving in. What, 14? 12? 14? I think it's 14. Best guess, 14. Could be, no, it's 14. Here we go. 17! Definitely not 12. Alright, let's build 2 more houses. So the first thing he does is comment on our panties, which is just adorable. So they both go to school, and they said it must have been the chairman, and he must have forgotten to fill out the information that you were also transferring, because we already have a transfer student, and he must have forgotten that we actually were supposed to have 2. So that's on him. He's out of town right now. We can't ask him, but we're going to assume that's the case. We have nowhere to put you because we've given the last dorm room to her. We can't put you anywhere. So figure it out. So they put him in basically like the only spare room they have, which has a robot, floating robot. And his name is Max. And he's like, what the crap is this? And they're like, it's a robot? And he's like, robots don't exist! And they're like, yeah, they do. I mean, look at him. That's Max. And he's like, what the crap is going on? This is like super future high sci-fi. And they're like, it's just Max, okay? Calm down. And he's like, whatever. But, like, wow. Did we make a second? We did. We made a second cat kennel. We made a second cat kennel. That's okay. We could always use cats. Cats are cute. I meant to make dogs, and I accidentally made cats. So let's put a dog kennel down and then make more dogs. Somebody saw me do that and just laughed. Can we put it on an angle like that? That'd be kind of cool, right? I mean, it's kind of already at an angle. I mean, it kind of already is at an angle. I guess. Anyway, dog. I kind of already have this one, though, so we don't actually need that one. I'm just going to leave it up to this dog. Here. I'm just going to leave it up to him. That's Sparta. Sparta, you're fine. So, you go through and you get to spend time with the girls and you get to know them, and the main girl, like if you get Flyable Heart, the main girl is the girl he met on the first day. The girl that's also transferring. Like, she's the main character. She's the main girl. She's on the main site. She's like the main character in the sequel as well. It's obviously that she's supposed to be the main girl you go after. And when you start dating her, if you choose to date her, you start dating her, and as you're talking, you mention something about your father. And she's like, wait a minute, is your father this guy? And you're like, yeah, that's my dad. She goes, we can't see each other anymore. And he's like, why not? And she's like, I'm your sister. And he's like, the hell you are? I don't have a sister. And she goes, I don't have a brother. And they're like, what? And he's like, I swear to you, I do not have a sister. And she's like, I swear to you, I don't have a brother. But your dad is my dad, and your mom is my mom. And they figure this out, and they're like, oh my gosh. So they go to Max, the robot. And they're like, what do we do? And the girl is like freaking out, and she even looks, and her friends are there, and they're all discussing this, and they're like, we've already kind of had sex with each other. Like, we're dating. We're serious. What in the world are we doing? And they're like, Max can solve this. So they go to Max, and they ask Max to do a DNA analysis. And Max says, well, let's figure this out. He grabs both of their hands and he takes a DNA sample and he looks up at them and he goes, there's absolutely no question, you're twins. And all of their friends are just broken and they're like, we're so sorry. And you stop seeing each other and you don't know what to do. And everybody is really broken up about the two of you. Like, you were the perfect couple. Everybody liked you. Everybody thought it was excellent and awesome and everything. And shortly after that, the second bad thing that happens is the student council president comes up to you and says, we need to talk. And he's like, okay. And the chairman has come home from his vacation. He's back. And they pull him into a room and they're like, we have no records of you at all. Who are you? And he's like, what do you mean, who am I? I'm this guy. Look at my records. And they're like, you don't exist. You don't understand. You have no birth records. You have no school records. You have no records at all. You do not exist. The person you claim is your father does exist, but he never ever claimed to have a son. He has a daughter, which is the girl we know, who transferred in. He does not have a son. Who are you? And he's like, I am telling you everything I know. I am this guy, and this is all I can tell you. And they're like, you're lying, and you're obviously trying to pull one over on us. And he's like, I don't know how to fix this, but I have nowhere to go. And the only reason why they allow him to stay in the school is he literally has nowhere to go. And they do feel sad about throwing him out on the street. But they're looking at him and they're like, you're a nobody. You're a mystery. And after that, he ends up, there's another sequence where he feels sick and stuff warps him and he ends up standing in this empty space of nothing. And there's like clouds and that's it. It's just space with clouds. And he's standing there and a girl is there and she's talking to him. And I think it's like the fortune teller, but I don't remember. But there's a girl standing there and she's like, you figured it out, haven't you? And he's like, this isn't my world. She's like, this is not your world. You, when you stepped across that bridge, you ended up being teleported to a different world. A world where you don't exist, and your parents had a daughter instead of a son. In your world, your parents had a son. In this world, your parents had a daughter. And so he realizes she is me. And the girl is like, that's right, she's you if you were born a girl. And he's like, oh, I've been sleeping with myself. And the girl's like, yeah, she's you. She's yourself. And she's like, what do you want? And he's like, I'm in love with her. Can I go back, please? And she's like, you'll never be able to go back to your original world. Is that what you want? And he's like, I would rather be with her forever than go home to my original world. And so the girl's like, okay, I'll send you back. And so he gets sent back to the world of Flyable Heart. And he ends up dating the girl that is himself. And they don't have any records that he exists. So they go back to their friends and say, we made a mistake. We're actually not brother and sister. And they're like, but what about the DNA test the robot took? And they're like, it must have been an error because we found out that our parents didn't have a son, so he can't be my brother. Yay! And he knows the truth. And there's a sequel to it, Flyable Candy Heart, and I suspect that in the sequel he tells her the truth, that they are the same person in two different realities. So it's not that he's dating his sister, it's that he's dating himself. Does that make it okay? I don't know. Like, is that gonna get done? Or 50? That's assigning more people. Let's go ahead and assign more, and then we need more coal. Is there a coal deposit? Is there a coal deposit around? That's iron. That's gold. Oh, I see, found a gold deposit. Yeah. So, in Flyable Heart, they get lucky. That's cool. I don't know that we can get that. Rather than kill a villager, let's take the soldiers down. It is winter, my soldier friends, but I apologize. It is also your duty. Sometimes you gotta go out in the cold. Honor. It's fine. That's where some of the arrows based on those tiny cowbirds. I don't mind. Go ahead and make cowbirds. Flyable Heart. I liked it. It was a very, very good. I own Flyable Candy Heart and I've never played it. You know, really and truly, that should be my next visual novel. It's Flyable Candy Heart. And then, by the same company, which is Unison Shift, there's also... Where is it? It was made in anime. Nanatsuhiro Drops. That is lovely. That is such a sweet, sweet visual novel. I adored that visual novel. On a scale of 1 to 10, that is almost a 10. That is like a 9.5 on the awesome-o-meter. There's also an anime for it because it came out in the mid-2000s. It's like 2000. If I click on this, where is it? 2006. So it came out at the exact time to get an anime made about it. It's about a boy that gets turned into a stuffed animal accidentally during a night of shooting stars. Like they're shooting stars and they're different colors stars, and he, by interacting with them by accident, gets turned into a stuffed animal. And during the day, he can be himself, but at night he turns into this stuffed animal. And he can talk as a stuffed animal, as the little stuffed toy. And so he talks to her, the girl. She has to become a magical girl in order to capture the 7 rainbow-colored drops. The Nanatsuhiro drops. Nana, 7. Tsuhiro, colored drops. The 7 colored drops. So she has to capture the 7 colored drops in order to turn him back into a human. But he can't tell her who he is, because if he does, he will turn into a stuffed animal forever. All he can really do is tell her, I need help, and you've got to help me. And out of the goodness of her heart, she goes to help him. But she doesn't know that he's the guy that she knows during the day. And I'm not going to spoil it, because there is an anime, you can go watch it. It is very sweet, it is very cute, it is a wonderful visual novel. I cannot say anything better about it because it's so good. What else did they do? They did another game that I played. I know I have. I think it was Alice Parade. Okay, we can definitely get that. So let's extend this. Golly, that's far out. Well, this is a medium map. I've never done a medium map. I mean, I did last time, but I didn't get as far as I wanted. How far can we get? 18? 18, I think, is the one. Again. Click. Oh, So we need housing. And we need, well, may as well, right? I think we're far enough away from, yep. Okay. And we need this. Here we go. And I don't think we need this one here. Let's move it. Okay. Like, that's a trip and a half. But, you know, coal. We're gonna run out of the coal we have pretty quick. 164. We're gonna run out of that really quick. We're gonna run out of the iron too. So let's check our iron. Oh, we're fine. We're gonna run out of iron. 6 people running on iron all day. That's fine. Upgrade. That is enough. Yeah, 29. We're fine. Absolutely fine. I think that'll be okay. It's got plenty of water in there. Still need, oh yeah, we're making tools though. Yay, we're making tools. Like, still buy tools if we can. But we are making them. It's almost been 2 hours. I just checked the time. Wow. Catgirls already. We only have 4 people. We did send them back, so that's good. I don't think we have enough money for that anymore. We're upgrading too much. In fact, we don't have what we can cover already. Let's move this. I don't think it needs to be there anymore. Don't I want a furniture building there, though? Oh. There we go. Let's flatten this. Get rid of that little bit of hill there. Try and even it out a bit. Yeah, I think I told you I've looked at somebody else's game, and they were further along than I am, and had absolutely no walls. What are you doing, man? I guess some people don't need walls. Like, don't want, don't need. I have a feeling that a lot of people just rush population a lot faster than I do. And because they rush population a lot faster, they've got a lot of stuff built a lot sooner than me. 52, I mean, it's not great, but it's okay. We're growing grain, but we don't have anything to do with it. Because we still need these. Like, I don't know. I guess I can build windmills. Let's build them along. Can I build them along here? I mean, it will lower desirability. Will lower desirability. I mean, not if I put it here. I think I could do that. I mean, not planning on putting any houses there. Yeesh. 60. Well, let's put it back. I don't want it too far away from the storage, but you know, maybe I'll think of it more like I'll put it close to where the farm is. 60. Yeesh. Yeesh. Knowledge. We can do forestry. That was what we were headed toward. I don't think we really need wood though. We've used a lot of wood though. We've used a lot of wood. There we go. Upgrade it is. Traveling merchant. Do you have any goats? Nope, just dogs and cats. Just dogs and cats. Dogs and cats living together. It's a line from Ghostbusters. Cats and dogs living together. Can I? I can. Look at that. Let's build it all the way down. Just make sure it connects. Rats! Rats! Get the rats! No on builders. Let's do 30. Need them 30. Anything else we need? We don't need wood. We need stones. Oh, stones. Close to them. We survived the last raid. I don't think we'll get so lucky the next one. I think we actually have to harvest resources prioritized. There's 32 rock in that building. Go get it! Oh, you know what? There's some there. Ah, it's wood. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Two hours is about 2 years. Kind of closer to 2.5 years. We got some nice, lovely, large houses. Oh, they were going to upgrade to the higher one. Yeah. Okay. We need glass and furniture. Gonna be a while for either one of those. We'll have to build another one of these sockets if we're gonna have furniture. May as well, right? Flatten out a little? We did. Good. let's start decorating. Oh, that's clear. Huh. Let's make sure this is done. Because it's different grass than what you get. It's different grass than what you get naturally, so it actually looks different. I'll just do that, everything except for the road. What do you got? Shoes. This is the shoes we were selling you. Goats? Do you have any goats? Although, we can almost get 10 of those. We got 9 of them. I guess we can sell some pottery. Some shirts. Man, he's getting old. 68. It's pretty good. 3 kittens are born. 7 livestock animals born. Nice, nice. We never built our second kennel. Somebody's unhappy. Oh, they stopped being unhappy when they got a delivery of whatever they were. How is our 440? Okay, we're doing okay. Yeah, there's another one like the previous 3 I've mentioned, where it's actually his mother. It's where he was abandoned as a child, and he calls a certain food, I don't remember what it was, like konyaku or something like that. He calls it by a certain name. He calls it like Brigo. Just throw out a word. Doesn't matter. It's cute and silly. And he meets a girl, a lady, at his college that works in the cafeteria. So she works in the school cafeteria, and we've got all of the entrances covered. Yes. So from entrance to entrance is all stone, cobblestone. That is not true. We've got this one. Nope. Don't need that one. Do need that one. And that'll connect from here up to there. So all of our exits and entrances will be stone. So he meets this girl at the cafeteria, this lady, and she's an older lady, but she's really pretty. And he just talks to her every day when he's going through the line, and they're cracking jokes and laughing and having a fun time. And she's just a really sweet lady. And after a few months, you know, he asks her on a date, and she's like, "I'm a lot older than you. I don't think that's. Why do you want an old lady like me?" And she's like, "Yeah, but you're beautiful. I want to spend time with you." And so she feels really excited. This younger man is interested in her, and they end up going out on dates. And they end up, you know, takes her to movies and takes her shopping and takes her to like all the date spots you would normally take a girl to. And it's really sweet, really fun, and really cute. And after they've gone out on dates, he ends up in a hotel with her, and she's like, "Are you sure about this?" And he's like, "Of course I'm sure. I love you. You're awesome." And she's like, "Okay." And so they end up sleeping together at a hotel, and like she is just absolutely giddy. She's excited, happy. She's spending time with her co-workers. She is just beside herself. She's fallen in love with this younger man that is interested in her despite her being older than him. And one day while they're in, you know, they're in bed together, they've, you know, done the deed, and they're sitting there and they're is just enjoying talking with each other. She says, "Why do you call?" And it's whatever food. I don't remember what it is, cognac or whatever. Why do you call it this unusual name? And he's like, "Oh, that's the only memory I have of my mother. After I was born, apparently this is something that I had gotten from her. I don't know anything about her. I never met her." And she looks at him and says, "We can't see each other again." And he's like, "What?" She goes, "We can't see each other ever again." And she stands up and leaves. And she literally disappears. He can't find her anywhere. He can't find her at the cafeteria. None of her friends have seen her. She's not answering her door. She's not answering a phone. He cannot find this woman at all. She is gone. And he ends up meeting with some of the old friends that she had and is like, "I need to see her. I don't know what has gone wrong. I don't know why she won't talk to me. And I am not going to stop until I can find her." And when he finally finds her after like 2 weeks of looking, he finally finds her. And he's like, "What happened? Like, why did you leave?" And she goes, "We can't see each other again." And he's like, "Why not?" And she goes, "I'm your mother." And he's like, "Excuse me?" And she goes, "I'm your mother. The word you used, the story you told, I'm your mother." And he's like, "Oh, okay." And so he goes home and he's just kind of sitting there and he's like, "I don't know what to do. Like, I'm in love with this girl, but I can't be with her again." And you can, if you want to, you can go down a different route. But most of the routes go back toward her. And he ends up with her again. And she's like, "Yeah, but we can't do this." And he's like, "It's too late. I'm in love with you." And she decides that she's in love with him anyway. And they end up together. And you're just like, okay. It's really sad, but it's kind of like the story of Oedipus, you know? It's kind of Greek tragedy. I mean, that's exactly what happened to Oedipus. Same story. Can we finally turn this? Nope. There we go. You are producing archery items. Okay, that's our iron, but we're producing enough of it, I believe, to satisfy all of our needs. The question, of course, is the coal. We do need swords. Let's... start making swords. So yeah, those are 3 of the same story, that just different angles of the same story. Very Greek tragedy, very, very Oedipus. I don't know if they can support 2 more because we just, well, we've got the coal, right? Oh, 170, we're not dead. I think this is helping. Let's just fill it up. I think we have enough people. We do. 34. Fine. It's fine. Food. We need food. And let me guess. Nothing but cats and dogs living together. At least we got 9 more of these. I mean, we need stuff like goats. We need stuff like cows. Farms are okay, but they run out. of usability. We don't need that on. Thank you. They start to run thin. Because you're just feeding all the people beans. Like, can we manage more fishing shacks? 'Cause I think that's part of the solution. Why is this on? I thought I turned you off. We need to also start looking at upgrading these when we can. Oh, that's just money. We can eventually get money, I guess. Anyway, it's been a little over 2 hours. I think we should call it a day for now. We do have a disaster in the making, our food. But we're going to be okay, and that's because these have to come in. And they will save us. Weed level is down, rockiness is down, fertility is also down, unfortunately. It is what it is. I think we'll get through it. Hope you enjoyed the stories. Not really much going on today. I had fun playing. I hope you had fun watching. I will talk to you again. We're playing Crudbury. We will be back after these messages from our sponsor. Bye-bye.